You're thinking about moving to DC in 2026, there are a few things you really need to know before you sign a lease or a mortgage, because DC can be an incredible place to live. But this year, the market, the taxes, and the city's infrastructure are surprising people in ways they didn't expect. I've worked with dozens of buyers relocating here from California, New York, North Carolina, and overseas. And honestly, many of them say the same thing after 6 months. I wish someone had told me this before I came. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the real unfiltered pros and cons of living in DC in 2026. We're going to cover the massive new tech boom, the specific transit closures you need to plan for this summer, and the neighborhood cheat codes that will save you thousands of dollars. And make sure you stay until the end because the last point, the one about the transient truth, is the one that catches almost every single newcomer off guard. If we haven't met yet, my name is Sherine with the Sherine Monir Group of Compass Real Estate. I'm a residential real estate consultant here in Washington, D.C. I specialize in relocation. Whether you're moving for a government appointment, a role at one of the new AI giants in Noma, or just the walkable city lifestyle, I'm here to make sure you land in the right spot. Now, why 2026? This is a milestone year for DC. We're seeing a rebalancing of the housing market, a massive shift in how people commute, and a cultural explosion. The city feels more energetic than it has in years, but it's also more complex to navigate. The first one is the ultimate walkability. One of the biggest reasons people love DC is how walkable it is. In neighborhoods like Georgetown, DuPont Circle, Logan Circle, and Capitol Hill, you can live your entire life within a 15-minute walk of your front door. But for 2026, the walkability story has a new chapter. The parks at Walter Reed and Brightwood. This is a 66-acre historic redevelopment that has finally reached its peak this year. You've got a Whole Foods, luxury retail, and incredible green space, all built into a neighborhood that used to be a closed military medical center. And here's my insider tip for 2026. If you want maximum flexibility, look at the border of Fetworth and Brightwood. Not only are these areas more affordable than Logan Circle, but you have the ultimate transit cheat code. You have access to both the Green Line at Georgia Avenue and the Red Line at Fort Totten or Tacoma. If one line is having a bad day, you have a built-in plan B without needing a car. Now let's look at the cost of living and the 2026 tax jump. Let's get into the truth part of the video. DC is expensive. The median home price in the district is currently hovering around 650,000 to 715,000, and that's a blended average. If you want detached home, you're looking at a minimum of 1.1 million plus, of course. But beyond housing, you need to budget for the October 2026 tax shift. Our general sales tax is scheduled to hit 7% this October. Everything from your morning latte to your new furniture will cost a bit more. However, here's the math most people miss. If you are moving from Northern Virginia, you might actually save money in DC. Why? Because DC has zero personal tax on cars. In Virginia, you'd pay roughly 4% of your car's value every single year just for the privilege of owning it. In DC, that's zero. Depending on what you drive, that could save you 2,000 to 5,000 a year, which offsets that sales tax hike. Now, I know that's a lot of data process. If you're sitting there trying to figure out if your specific salary or commute works for a place like Petworth versus a place like Arlington, just shoot me a text or an email. My contact information is right in the description. I help people bridge that gap between thinking about moving and actually finding the right front door, and I'd love to help you too. In 2026, DC is no longer just a government town. We have officially become the AI and defense tech capital. With massive expansion from NVIDIA, Amazon, and Microsoft, the job market here is a total career accelerator. If you have a security clearance, you are in the highest demand I've ever seen. We're seeing cleared roles in the district paying 20 to 30% higher than similar tech roles in other cities. This professional ecosystem is unique. You'll find yourself at a happy hour sitting next to a World Bank economist, a NASA engineer, and an AI startup founder. It's an intellectual gold rush right now. Now let's talk about traffic. Traffic is a reality, but the big con for 2026 is the summer red line shutdown. If you are moving this year, mark your calendar for July 6th through September 7th. The red line will be completely shut down between North Bethesda and Friendship Heights. This means the Bethesda Medical Center and Governor stations are closed. If you're planning to commute from Maryland, you'll be relying on shuttle buses that can add 40 minutes to your trip. If your office is in the city and you're moving this summer, I highly recommend looking at neighborhoods like Adams Morgan or Mount Pleasant instead, so you're not caught in the transit nightmare. There's a food and culture explosion in DC. DC is currently one of the food cities in America. In 2026, the Union Market District has expanded even further. We aren't just talking about the food hall anymore. It's an entire ecosystem of Michelin star dining and rooftop bars. If you love international culture and global energy, there is no better time to live in DC than right now. And finally, I did promise you at the beginning the biggest con that surprises people isn't the traffic or the prices, it's the transient culture. DC is known as a revolving door city. People move here for 2 to 5 year cycles, political appointments, military tours, or specific contracts. It makes the city incredibly vibrant and smart, but it also means your social culture will likely shift every few years. The lesson? You have to be intentional. If you just stay in your work bubble, it can feel lonely. But if you join a local run club, an ANC meeting, or even a dog park group in Navy Yard, you'll find a community that is incredibly welcoming because almost everyone there was the new person once too. So, should you move to DC in 2026? If you want a city of opportunity, culture, and historic charm, the answer is resounding yes. If you want a copy of my 2026 DC relocation guide, which breaks down these neighborhoods and the new tax codes in detail, click the link in my description. And when you're ready to start looking at homes, reach out. I'd love to show you around the district. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more honest takes on DC real estate. I'm Shireen Monir with the Shireen Monir Group of Compass Real Estate, and I'll see you in the next video.